Imagine standing on the edge of a canyon so vast it seems to swallow the horizon, or watching a curtain of light dance across the Arctic sky. These aren't scenes from a fantasy film. They are real places on our planet, masterpieces sculpted not by human hands but by the raw, untamed power of nature itself. For centuries, we've sought to list the world's greatest marvels. But what happens when we look beyond pyramids and temples? What wonders has Earth created on its own? We journey to the ends of the Earth, from the deepest abyss to the highest peak, to witness the breathtaking beauty of the 7 natural wonders of the world. These are the stories of their creation, their scale, and their enduring power to inspire awe in all who behold them. Ready to explore? Picture a world splashed in bright white and vibrant blue, where the air is so thin it feels like a distant memory. Here, massive rock and ice giants scrape the sky, and the highest point on Earth reaches into the jet stream. This isn't some far-off planet. It's Chomolungma, the mother goddess of the world, better known as Mount Everest. For ages, this towering peak, sitting on the border of Nepal and China, has been more than just a mountain. It's a sacred icon holding up the sky, a place for scientific discovery, and the ultimate test of human grit. It's whispered promises of glory while also delivering a chilling reality check. But what makes this mountain truly remarkable? It's not just its jaw-dropping height of 8,848.86 meters. It's the incredible stories carved into its icy slopes, tales of devotion, groundbreaking science, and wild adventure. Everest is like a living lab. Its glaciers are ancient rivers of ice packed with priceless climate info from ages ago. Scientists dig into these ice cores like they're flipping through a history book, uncovering secrets about our planet's past and future. The mountain's crazy high altitude creates a wild environment, pushing life to its limits. Just think about the bar-headed geese soaring over the peak, or those tiny jumping spiders hanging out at insane heights. Everest really makes us rethink biology. But the most amazing story is about the people. For the Sherpa folks, Everest or Sagarmatha is sacred, a home to their deities. They have this incredible genetic trait that helps them use oxygen way better, making them the heart and soul of every expedition. The journey to conquer Everest is packed with tales of bravery and heartbreak. Remember George Mallory and Andrew Irvine? They disappeared near the summit in 1924, leaving us wondering, did they reach the top first? Their story captures the mountain's irresistible allure. Fast forward to 1953, and the world held its breath as Sir Edmund Hillary, a humble beekeeper from New Zealand, and Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa with incredible mountain skills, pulled off the impossible. Their triumph wasn't just about them. It symbolized hope and teamwork for a world recovering from war, showing that with courage and collaboration, we can conquer anything. Everest is still a huge draw for adventurers, a spot where people push their limits like never before. But it also brings its own set of challenges. This mountain is a symbol of our impact on the planet, with worries about overcrowding and keeping the environment safe. So what makes Everest so special? It's a stunning geological wonder, a spiritual icon, and a treasure trove of scientific discovery. It shows us the power of our planet and how fragile we really are, reminding us of our dreams and responsibilities. Climbing Everest isn't just about reaching the top. It's a story that keeps evolving, a wonder that deserves our respect and inspires us to look both at the world around us and within ourselves. Beneath the turquoise embrace of the Coral Sea, off the coast of Queensland, Australia, lies a living, breathing masterpiece. It is not a city of stone, nor a monument forged by human hands. It is a world unto itself, an intricate tapestry of life so vast it can be seen from the cold, dark expanse of space. This is the Great Barrier Reef, a colossal community of coral, a bustling metropolis for marine life, and one of the undisputed natural wonders of our planet. Its scale is almost impossible to comprehend. Stretching over 2,300 kilometers, it's not a single entity but a sprawling system of more than 2,900 individual reefs and 900 islands. Imagine a structure longer than the Great Wall of China, built not from brick and mortar, but by trillions of tiny industrious animals called coral polyps over thousands of years. This is their legacy, a cathedral of color and life that dwarfs any creation of mankind. But what truly makes it a wonder is not just its size, but the staggering biodiversity it cradles. It's a world painted in every color imaginable, a symphony of movement and form. The story of the Great Barrier Reef is an epic, written in limestone and spanning millennia. It began around 20,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age. As the great glaciers melted and sea levels rose, they flooded the coastal plains of northeastern Australia. On the submerged hills and plains, the first coral larvae began to settle, initiating a construction project of geological proportions. These tiny polyps, each no bigger than a grain of rice, began to secrete calcium carbonate skeletons. Over generations, as new polyps built upon the skeletons of their ancestors, the reef grew upwards, reaching for the life-giving sunlight. This slow, patient process created the complex three-dimensional structures we see today: branching corals that resemble underwater trees, massive brain corals that look like giant grooved boulders, and delicate sea fans that wave gently in the current. It's a living archive of environmental change, with layers that tell stories of ancient sea levels, water temperatures, and storms. For the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, the reef is not just a natural feature. It's a sacred part of their culture and identity, a source of sustenance, stories, and spiritual connection for over 60,000 years. Their traditional knowledge holds a deep understanding of the reef's rhythms and secrets, a wisdom passed down through countless generations. To journey into the Great Barrier Reef is to enter a world of breathtaking complexity. It's the planet's largest single structure made by living organisms, and it hosts a dazzling array of life. More than 1,500 species of fish, from the tiny electric blue damselfish to the majestic gentle whale shark, call this place home. You'll find 6 of the world's 7 species of sea turtles gliding through the coral gardens, alongside graceful manta rays with wingspans that can reach several meters. 30 species of whales and dolphins, including humpback whales on their annual migration, frequent these waters. The coral itself is the star of the show. It's a vibrant jungle of hard and soft corals, creating a labyrinth of habitats for countless other creatures. Crabs, shrimp, and starfish scuttle across the reef floor, while giant clams, some weighing over 200 kilograms, filter the water. This incredible biodiversity is no accident. The reef's intricate structure provides shelter, food, and breeding grounds. It's a perfectly balanced ecosystem where every organism, from the microscopic plankton to the apex predator, plays a crucial role. This delicate web of life is what makes the reef so resilient, yet also so vulnerable. But the Great Barrier Reef is more than just a beautiful spectacle. It's a vital life support system for our planet. The reef acts as a natural barrier, protecting the Queensland coastline from the full force of storms and erosion, saving coastal communities from immense damage. Economically, it's a powerhouse, supporting over 64,000 jobs and contributing billions of dollars to the Australian economy through tourism, fishing, and recreation. Millions of people from around the globe travel here every year to snorkel, dive, and witness its splendor firsthand. But its global importance runs even deeper. Like rainforests, coral reefs are critical for the health of the planet. They are nurseries for a quarter of all marine fish species, supporting fisheries that feed millions of people worldwide. They are also a potential treasure trove for medical discoveries, with compounds found in reef organisms being used to develop new treatments for a range of diseases. This underwater world is a testament to the power of nature, a source of wonder, and a crucial component of our planet's health. However, this living wonder is facing an unprecedented threat. The very foundations of the reef are being challenged by a rapidly changing world. The greatest danger is climate change, which warms the ocean and increases its acidity. When water temperatures rise, corals become stressed and expel the symbiotic algae living in their tissues, a process known as coral bleaching. This turns the vibrant corals a ghostly white. If the water doesn't cool down in time, the corals starve and die, leaving behind a barren, crumbling skeleton. We have witnessed several mass bleaching events in recent years, each more severe than the last. Pollution from land-based runoff, carrying sediments and chemicals, also smothers the corals and fuels the growth of crown-of-thorns starfish, a natural predator that can decimate entire sections of the reef in large numbers. The story of the Great Barrier Reef is now at a critical turning point. It is a story of beauty and fragility, of resilience and threat. Scientists, conservationists, and local communities are racing against time, working on innovative solutions from coral nurseries to reducing pollution. The fate of this magnificent ecosystem rests in our hands. It serves as a powerful, beautiful, and urgent reminder of what we stand to lose. Protecting the Great Barrier Reef is not just about saving a beautiful place. It's about protecting a vital piece of our planet's life support system and preserving a wonder for all future generations. Thank you for watching. Imagine standing on the edge of forever. Below you, a chasm so vast it seems to swallow the sky. The rock walls blush in 1,000 shades of ochre, crimson, and violet as the sun charts its course across the heavens. This isn't a painting, it's the Grand Canyon, a place that defies description and stills the human heart. But what if I told you this colossal sculpture, a mile deep and 277 miles long, wasn't just carved by water? What if its story is written not just in stone, but in fire, in continental collisions, and in the relentless march of time itself? The Grand Canyon isn't merely a hole in the ground. It's a book. Its pages nearly 2 billion years old, and every layer tells a tale of a world you would scarcely recognize. A world of shallow seas, towering mountains long since vanished, and primeval deserts. Today, we're not just looking at the Grand Canyon. We're reading its epic story, from the very foundations of our continent to the first humans who gazed upon its majesty with awe. The Colorado River, the artist behind this masterpiece, seems powerful, but its true genius lies in its patience. For 6 million years, it has tirelessly sliced through the Colorado Plateau, which was itself being pushed upward by immense geological forces. It's a perfect cosmic dance. As the land rose, the river cut deeper, maintaining its course. Think of it like this. If you slowly lift a block of wood, while a saw blade stays in place, the saw will cut a deeper and deeper groove. That's precisely what happened here, on a scale that boggles the mind. Every single day, the river carries 500,000 tons of sediment downstream. That's equivalent to the weight of 2 Empire State Buildings being washed away every 24 hours. This process, relentless and unending, has peeled back the layers of Earth's history, exposing a geological library unlike any other. Look closely at the canyon walls. See those distinct bands of color? Each one is a different chapter in Earth's autobiography. The dark crystalline rock at the very bottom, the Vishnu schist, is 1.7 billion years old. It's the basement of the continent, forged in the heart of ancient volcanic islands. Above it you find layers of sandstone, shale, and limestone, each telling of a different environment. The Redwall limestone, a sheer cliff halfway up, was formed at the bottom of a warm, tropical sea teeming with early life. The Coconino sandstone, that pale layer near the top, was once a Sahara-like desert, its dunes frozen in time. You can even see the fossilized tracks of ancient reptiles that scurried across this prehistoric landscape. It's one of the few places on Earth where you can see so much of our planet's past in a single, breathtaking view. The canyon isn't just a story of rocks, it's a story of life. For at least 10,000 years, humans have called this place home. The ancestral Puebloans, for instance, built granaries high in the cliff faces, improbable structures that still cling to the rock today. They farmed the canyon floor, hunted its plateaus, and held the entire landscape as sacred. Their stories are woven into the very fabric of the canyon, passed down through generations of their descendants, like the Havasupai, the people of the blue-green water, who still live within its depths today. Their connection to the canyon is profound, a spiritual bond that predates any national park or tourist viewpoint. For them, the canyon is not a spectacle. It is the center of the world, a living, breathing entity. So why is the Grand Canyon a wonder of the world? It's not just its size, though its scale is almost impossible to comprehend. It's not just its beauty, though it has inspired artists and poets for centuries. The Grand Canyon is a wonder because it is a monument to time itself. It shows us the power of slow, persistent forces to create something of unimaginable grandeur. It lays bare the very bones of our planet, allowing us to read its history like an open book. And it reminds us of our own fleeting place in this vast, ancient story. To stand on its rim is to feel both infinitesimally small and deeply connected to the immense saga of Earth. It's a humbling, perspective-shifting experience that stays with you long after you've left its edge. Imagine standing under a vast inky black sky. It's a cold, silent night, somewhere deep in the Arctic Circle. Suddenly, the darkness begins to move. A faint, ghostly green ribbon appears on the horizon, as if a celestial artist has just swiped a brush across the cosmos. It grows, twisting and unfurling, a silent, ethereal river of light flowing across the heavens. This is the Aurora Borealis, a spectacle that has mystified and enchanted humanity for millennia. It's not just a beautiful light show, it's a direct, visible connection to the untamed power of our own star, the sun. For centuries, our ancestors looked up at these dancing lights with a mixture of awe and fear. They saw them as bridges to the afterlife, spirits of their ancestors, or even omens of war. But what is this celestial ballet, really? How does a violent explosion, 93 million miles away, paint our planet's sky with such delicate, breathtaking beauty? Join us as we journey from ancient myths to modern science, to uncover the secrets of one of Earth's greatest natural wonders. The story of the aurora begins not on Earth, but in the fiery heart of our solar system, the sun. It might look like a peaceful, steady orb from our perspective, but the sun is a raging nuclear furnace. It's constantly throwing out a stream of charged particles, mostly electrons and protons, in every direction. This stream is called the solar wind. For the most part, Earth is protected from this constant bombardment by its magnetic field, an invisible shield that deflects these particles. But this shield isn't perfect. It's weakest at the north and south poles, creating two funnels that guide the solar wind down into our upper atmosphere. And that's where the magic happens. As these high-energy particles from the sun slam into the gas molecules in our atmosphere, primarily oxygen and nitrogen, they transfer their energy. Think of it like hitting a tiny bell with a microscopic hammer. The gas atoms get excited, and to calm down, they have to release that extra energy. They do so by emitting a tiny flash of light, a photon. Now imagine not just one or two particles, but trillions upon trillions of them, all crashing into the atmosphere at once. The result is a massive, shimmering curtain of light that we call the aurora. The different colors you see depend on which gas is being hit, and at what altitude. The most common color, a brilliant green, comes from oxygen atoms being struck about 60 to 150 miles above the ground. The rarer, beautiful reds you sometimes see at the top of the displays are also from oxygen, but at much higher altitudes, up to 200 miles. The purples and blues? Those are from nitrogen. For ancient cultures living under these displays, science wasn't an option. They had to explain this spectacle through stories. The Vikings believed the aurora was the reflection of the Valkyries' shields as they led fallen warriors to Valhalla. In Finland, they had a beautiful myth of the fire fox, a magical creature whose tail would sweep sparks across the sky as it ran through the snowy landscapes. The Cree people of North America saw the lights as the spirits of their ancestors dancing, a sign that they were happy in the afterlife. These weren't just simple tales. They were a way of connecting with the cosmos, of finding meaning in a world that was often harsh and unforgiving. The aurora wasn't just something to see. It was something to be experienced, a spiritual event that tied their communities to the heavens. It wasn't until the 20th century that we truly began to unravel the aurora's scientific mysteries. Scientists like Christian Birkeland, a Norwegian physicist, undertook daring expeditions into the Arctic. He hypothesized that the aurora was caused by solar particles guided by Earth's magnetic field, and even recreated the phenomenon in his lab using a magnetized sphere in a vacuum chamber. His work laid the foundation for our modern understanding. Today we have satellites that monitor the sun's activity, allowing us to predict when and where auroras might be visible. We've learned that the aurora is a sign of a dynamic, interconnected solar system, a reminder that we are part of a much larger cosmic dance. It's a fusion of myth, history, and cutting-edge science, a spectacle that connects us to our ancestors and to the very star that gives us life. It is, without a doubt, a true wonder of our world. Imagine this. You're a farmer tilling your land like any other day. The sun is warm, the soil is familiar. Suddenly, the ground beneath your feet begins to tremble. Not an earthquake, but something else. A strange hiss fills the air, and a crack opens in your cornfield. Smoke, smelling of sulfur, billows out. Within hours, a small mound of ash and rock begins to rise, growing taller than a person, then taller than a tree. By the next morning, a fiery, roaring cone stands where your crops once grew. This isn't a scene from a disaster movie. This is the true story of how a volcano was born in a Mexican cornfield in 1943. Welcome to the incredible tale of Parícutin, the youngest volcano on Earth and one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. It all started on February 20th, 1943. A farmer named Dionisio Pulido was working in his field near the village of Parícutin in Michoacán, Mexico. He and his wife, Paula, heard a deep rumbling, like thunder, but the sky was clear. The ground shook and swelled, and a fissure, a deep crack about 2.5 meters long, opened up. At first, Dionisio thought it was just a strange geological event. He even tried to fill the hole with dirt and rocks. But the earth pushed them back out, and soon, a gray, ash-filled smoke began to rise, accompanied by loud hisses and the smell of rotten eggs. Frightened, he rushed to the nearby town to alert the priest and the mayor. Few believed him at first, dismissing it as a tall tale. But they couldn't ignore it for long. By nightfall, the small crack had become a furious vent, spewing glowing hot rocks hundreds of feet into the air. The baby volcano was born. In just 24 hours, the cone grew to an astonishing 50 meters. That's over 160 feet high. Imagine the shock and awe of the local people, witnessing the birth of a mountain in their own backyard. This wasn't a long dormant giant waking up. This was creation happening right before their eyes. Scientists, artists, and journalists from around the globe flocked to Mexico. They had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to study a volcano from its very first breath. Parícutin is the only volcano in modern history whose entire life cycle, from birth to extinction, was witnessed and documented by humans. That's what makes it a true wonder. For 9 years, Parícutin grew and erupted. It wasn't a single explosive event, but a slow, relentless advance. Rivers of molten lava flowed from its base, creeping across the landscape at a walking pace. It was a slow-motion disaster. The lava wasn't fast enough to trap people, but it was unstoppable. It swallowed everything in its path: fields, forests, and homes. 2 entire villages, Parícutin and San Juan Parangaricutiro, were buried. Miraculously, no one was directly killed by the lava or eruptions, as the residents had time to evacuate, taking their belongings and even their saints' images with them. All that remains of the larger town, San Juan, is the top half of its stone church, defiantly jutting out from a vast black sea of solidified lava. It's a hauntingly beautiful monument to nature's power and the resilience of a community that lost everything but their lives. The volcano officially stopped erupting in 1952. After 9 years of fiery activity, it fell silent. Today, Parícutin stands as a dormant, 424-meter-high cinder cone. The landscape, once a barren black wasteland of volcanic rock, is slowly being reclaimed by nature. Pine trees and wildflowers have begun to take root in the fertile ash. What makes Parícutin a wonder isn't just its dramatic birth, but the story it tells. It's a testament to the dynamic, ever-changing nature of our planet. It allowed us to see geology in action, a process that usually takes thousands or millions of years, condensed into less than a decade. You can visit today, hike across the lava fields, and climb to the crater's rim, standing on a mountain that didn't exist a century ago. It's a powerful reminder that the ground beneath our feet is alive, and sometimes it decides to create something brand new. So while other wonders are ancient monuments or vast canyons carved over eons, Parícutin is unique. It's the new kid on the block, a wonder born in our own time, witnessed by our own kind. Its story isn't lost in the mists of ancient history. It's recorded in photographs, films, and the memories of those who saw it happen. It's a story of destruction, creation, and incredible resilience. Imagine standing on the precipice of a chasm over a mile wide, where the earth seems to crack open and swallow an entire river. The air, thick with a perpetual mist, trembles with a sound that's not just heard, but felt deep in your bones, a thunderous roar that has echoed through millennia. This is not a scene from a fantasy epic. This is Mosi-oa-Tunya, the smoke that thunders, a place where the colossal Zambezi River plunges into a roaring abyss, creating the largest single curtain of falling water on the planet. For centuries, its existence was a sacred secret, a legend whispered among the Tonga people who revered it as a site of immense spiritual power. They saw rainbows born in its spray, heard the voices of their ancestors in its roar, and felt the lifeblood of their land in its flow. Then, in 1855, a Scottish missionary, guided by local people, laid his eyes upon it. His name was David Livingstone, and his words would soon echo across the globe. Scene so lovely must have been gazed upon by angels in their flight. He christened it Victoria Falls, in honor of his queen. But its true majesty lies not in a name given by an outsider, but in the raw, untamable power that has sculpted this landscape and shaped the lives of all who have dwelt in its shadow. For centuries, this place was a well-kept secret, a legend among the Tonga people who saw it as a site of incredible spiritual power. They watched rainbows form in its spray, heard the whispers of their ancestors in its roar, and felt the lifeblood of their land flowing through it. Then, in 1855, a Scottish missionary named David Livingstone, guided by locals, laid eyes on this wonder. He famously said, "Scenes so lovely must have been gazed upon by angels in their flight," and named it Victoria Falls after his queen. But the real magic isn't in the name. It's in the raw, untamed power that has shaped this landscape and the lives of everyone who has lived in its shadow. Isn't that just incredible? Victoria Falls isn't just big, it's a spectacle of superlatives. While it's not the highest or the widest waterfall in the world, its combined width of over 1,700 meters and height of 108 meters result in the world's largest sheet of falling water. Think about that for a second. During the peak rainy season, over 500 million cubic meters of water plummet over the edge every single minute. That's enough to fill 200 Olympic-sized swimming pools every 60 seconds. This immense volume of water smashes into the gorge below with such force that the spray shoots upwards for over 400 meters, creating a microclimate of its own. It generates a permanent rainforest on the cliffs opposite the falls, a lush, verdant paradise that thrives in the constant drenching mist. This is the only place on Earth where it rains 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The effect is so dramatic that the smoke from the falls can be seen from nearly 50 kilometers away, a beacon on the African plains that has guided travelers for centuries. The geology that formed this wonder is a story of fire and water, written over 180 million years. It all began when volcanic activity laid down a thick blanket of hard basalt rock across this region of southern Africa. As the millennia passed, this solid rock mass developed cracks or fissures filled with softer sandstone. The mighty Zambezi River, flowing across this plateau, began to exploit these weaknesses. It chewed away at the soft sandstone, carving out the first gorge and creating the first waterfall. But the river wasn't finished. Over tens of thousands of years, it relentlessly eroded the rock, abandoning the first gorge and retreating upstream to exploit the next line of weakness. This process has repeated itself at least 8 times. The zigzagging series of gorges you see downstream from the falls today are the fossilized remains of its predecessors. We are currently witnessing the 9th iteration of Victoria Falls. In another 100,000 years, the falls as we know them will be gone, having carved their way further upstream, leaving behind another deep, dramatic gorge as a testament to their power. This unique environment doesn't just create stunning views, it nurtures an incredible ecosystem. On the precipice of the abyss, you can find the Devil's Pool, a natural rock pool where, during the dry season, the brave can swim right to the edge of the cascade. It's a heart-stopping experience with just a submerged rock lip separating you from the 100-meter drop. The spray-soaked rainforest is a haven for delicate ferns, wild orchids, and ancient trees like ebony and mahogany. In the skies above, you'll see trumpeter hornbills and peregrine falcons, while below, hippos and crocodiles patrol the calmer stretches of the Zambezi. Elephants frequently cross the river upstream, their silhouettes against the African sunset a truly iconic sight. This rich biodiversity, existing in harmony with such a powerful natural force, is a crucial reason why Victoria Falls is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized not just for its beauty but for its vital ecological importance. From the sacred ground of the Tonga people to the awestruck accounts of explorers and the millions of visitors who stand humbled before it today, Mosio Atunya transcends being just a waterfall. It is a geological marvel, a sanctuary for life, and a source of profound spiritual connection. It is a living, breathing entity, a force of nature that reminds us of the planet's immense power and timeless beauty. Its thunderous roar is the heartbeat of Africa, a sound that once heard is never forgotten. It truly is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. Imagine a bay so vast, so breathtaking, that the first explorers who saw it mistook it for the mouth of a great river. They arrived on January 1st, 1502, and christened it Rio de Janeiro, the River of January. But this was no river, it was something far more spectacular. Guanabara Bay, the harbor that would cradle one of the world's most vibrant cities. This immense body of water, studded with over 100 islands and framed by colossal granite mountains that seem to erupt from the sea, is a masterpiece sculpted by nature itself. It's not just a harbor, it's a living geological drama, a canvas of unparalleled beauty that earned its place as one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. How did this extraordinary landscape come to be, and what makes it so much more than just a pretty picture? Let's dive into the story of the harbor of Rio de Janeiro. The magic of Guanabara Bay lies in its dramatic topography. Think of it as a flooded valley, a sunken landscape carved over millions of years and then claimed by the Atlantic Ocean. This geological saga created the iconic landmarks we know today. The most famous, of course, is Sugarloaf Mountain, a monolithic peak of granite and quartz rising 396 meters straight from the water's edge. Its name, Pão de Açúcar, comes from its resemblance to the traditional conical shape of refined loaf sugar used during the height of Brazil's sugarcane trade. For centuries, this mountain has been the silent sentinel guarding the entrance to the bay, a natural landmark that became an icon of Brazil itself. But Sugarloaf is not alone. Look across the bay and you'll see a collection of uniquely shaped mountains, collectively known as the Finger Mountains, or Serra dos Órgãos. Peaks like Dedo de Deus, or God's Finger, pierce the skyline, creating a dramatic, jagged backdrop that changes with the light of day. Then there's the legendary Corcovado Mountain, the Hunchback, crowned by the colossal Christ the Redeemer statue. From its summit, the entire expanse of the harbor unfolds, a sprawling panorama of blue water, green forests, and the urban mosaic of Rio. This unique fusion of sea and mountain, city and nature, is what truly sets Guanabara Bay apart. It's a place where the grandeur of geology meets the energy of human civilization. The bay's formation is a story of immense power. Millions of years ago, tectonic forces pushed and folded the Earth's crust, creating these massive granite domes. Then, during the ice ages, sea levels were much lower, Rivers carved deep valleys through the land. As the ice melted and the oceans rose, seawater flooded these valleys, creating the sprawling, protected bay we see today. This natural shelter was a gift to mariners, offering a safe haven from the turbulent Atlantic. It's no wonder it became a vital port, shaping the destiny of Brazil from the colonial era to the present day. Its strategic importance was matched only by its astonishing beauty, a beauty that has inspired poets, artists, and travelers for centuries. But what truly cements its status as a wonder of the world is the life it supports. The bay and its surrounding Tijuca National Forest, one of the world's largest urban rainforests, are teeming with biodiversity. This incredible ecosystem exists right on the doorstep of a megacity. You can see toucans and monkeys just a short drive from bustling city streets. This harmonious, yet fragile coexistence of wild nature and urban life is the final defining characteristic of Rio's magnificent harbor. It's not just a geological marvel or a beautiful view. It's a living, breathing wonder where the forces of nature and the spirit of humanity have created something truly unforgettable. It's a reminder of our planet's power to create breathtaking beauty, a treasure to be cherished and protected for all time.